Hello, hello, beautiful souls. Lisa here, and we are on day 2 of 14 of these simple 1-degree shifts, micro habits that you can incorporate into your life that make significant changes, significant waves of transformation. Today's is gratitude. Gratitude is such an important practice. And I call it a practice because it doesn't come naturally to us. The way our brains work, the way we've evolved, how we got here was by focusing on the negative things. That's how our brain keeps us safe. That's why we notice all of these bad things, the things that we don't have, the situations that aren't going our way, anything that might make us feel unsafe, insecure. It's keeping us safe. That's why we notice when something's off. That's why we notice when we don't have something. So it's not a bad thing that we kind of complain and notice these negative things. It's kept us alive. It's kept us safe. It's kept our species here on this planet. And it's part of survival. So that's why gratitude doesn't really come naturally, because our brains notice the dangerous things. And then what we notice, our brain, we just perceive more of it, right? So to get out of that cycle, what you want to do is anytime you find yourself complaining or feeling in a lack, like you don't have enough, anytime that feeling comes up, especially with complaining is like your little ding ding, hey, it's time to do a gratitude practice, right? Here's an example of something that I complain about frequently. It would be like raising 3 kids and the amount of food I have to go get several times a week. And it could be very easy to complain about that, as I find myself doing. And whenever I find myself doing this, it's like, well, I have healthy kids. I have kids who like to eat. They like to eat good, nutritious food, which, we could complain that it costs more. I don't know how to be grateful about that. At least we have it. But there's a lot of things to be grateful in that. And having healthy kids who eat and the resources to get the food, they could be starving. They could be really sick in the hospital, not able to eat. And, it would be probably harder to find things to be grateful for in that situation, but there would still be some, hey, at least there's a hospital to help them. So the point of this is there's always something to be grateful for. And our brains aren't really wired to think that way. So that's why this practice is so important and so impactful, because when you stop complaining and you start looking for the silver lining, you start looking for what there is to be grateful for, then your brain starts to show you more of that. And it starts to build and get momentum, and your body changes too. Whenever you're in a state of lack, whether it be lack of money, lack of love, lack of attention, whatever that may be, you're needy. You don't have it on your own. You need this from somebody else or something else. When you shift to the gratitude, I'm grateful that I have this. I'm grateful that I am this. I'm grateful for whatever, the inside of your body and how you feel also changes. And it's not as grabby and needy. It's okay. It's safe. And really, that's what we want, is to be able to feel safe. And so, what are you grateful for today?